This is Tofu Boy, and he's the worst character in Super Meat Boy. He's so bad, in fact, that it is actually impossible to beat the first level of the game with him, if you're playing normally. But who really is Tofu Boy? In a response to Meat Boy having meat in his name, PETA made a terrible parody called Super Tofu Boy. This game kinda speaks for itself. I mean, look at this. Meat Boy is happily in love with Bandage Girl. Then she dumps him for this hunk right here. And Meat Boy kidnaps Bandage Girl out of jealousy. So then you have to rescue this girl you've dated for like 2 seconds. Okay? Not to mention, Meat Boy isn't even meat. He's actually just a boy with no skin, hence him liking Bandage Girl. But anyways, Team Meat took Tofu Boy's awesome character design and put him in Super Meat Boy. Because of his major iron deficiency, Tofu Boy struggles to complete pretty much any level in the game. You can use glitches to beat a couple more. As you can see here, the levels in green are the previously beaten levels by other people. The ones in yellow are possible levels that no one has beat supposedly. And the ones in red are impossible. You need to beat 17 levels in each world to advance. That leaves 3 uncleared levels at most in each world. So it's clearly impossible to beat the game by just using Tofu Boy. Or is it? This graphic was originally from my fellow Horseman's video here. But there's actually another video that does a speedrun called Tofu %. This speedrun is glitchless, and they actually beat 3 of the unbeaten levels. This one, and this one. When we add these to the list, this doesn't look any easier at all. This still looks impossible. But that didn't stop me from trying. So I set my game to the OG version. I'll need this to use glitches. Then boot up the game, go to this level, unlock a character, all this so I can get to the character select screen and type in PETA file and get to play as Tofu Boy. Let's see how far we can get without using glitches. Well, right off the bat, there's not a lot we can do. We simply can't jump far enough to reach Bandage Girl. We're gonna have to whip out our first glitch. The first glitch we'll be using is called the jump glitch. To do this, you press jump, hold jump, press start, and that's it. Now Tofu Boy is jumping every frame. Well, I still can't reach her. The second glitch we'll be using is called the Alt glitch. To do this, you press the Alt button and press it again, and I'm over here now. Oh, I'm over here now. Oh, I'm over here now. Oh no, that cliff is too far away. No, it isn't. It really is that simple. It might as well be a feature in the game. The only thing the Alt button is doing here is tabbing out of the game. This has some interesting consequences because time is still running. The game is still running its calculations in the background. It is factoring in your falling, sliding, the floor you're standing on, and other forces acting on your character like fans and stuff. It does not factor in walls that you are not currently interacting with, and since it only cares about the ground under you when you initially tab out of the game, it basically lets you walk on air. And with that, we're done with level 1. Now we can move on to the rest of the game. Beating the game with Tofu Boy took a little bit over a month to complete, so if you enjoy stuff like this, or if you want more content from me, please like and subscribe. It would help a lot. You'll notice that number at the top right corner of the screen. Those colors actually match up with the graphic I showed earlier. So green means previously beaten level, possible. Yellow is theoretical level, so a level with theories of how to beat it, but no one has done it yet. And the red are the impossible levels, the levels that there's just no way that no one can ever beat, right? Here at 1.6, you need to alt through this razor. It's way too big to jump across. 1.7. I'll show you a little bit of a demo of a trick I'll be using later here. You can do this one a couple of ways. You can jump up on the right wall there, or you can do it this way. Oh, did you see that? Don't worry about it. I'll let you know much more about that trick later on. Hero 19, if you get on the bottom left corner there and jump, it'll take you to this right wall at the same position every time, and you'll actually climb up it quick enough so that they don't disappear and make you fall through them. That's the only challenge about these disappearing block levels, is that sometimes they disappear too quickly. We'll be back to 111. You'll notice me nodding my head in a bunch of these levels. I'm actually counting the music beats to time the alt glitch. 113, I really wanted to get this bandage. You can beat this level a lot easier if you just go around. $114, you don't need to use glitches to beat this one, and as a proof, I will not use glitches to beat it. They really don't help. 115, you don't need glitches to beat this one either. You already saw 116, you just alt through the wall. This alt is just a little bit precise to get on this wall here, and then you have to climb up it faster, quick enough so that the razor doesn't swing around and kill you. Pretty much all of these alt glitches have specific counts assigned to them. You don't see it too much early on because these levels are not that hard, but later on I start getting into half and quarter beats. It took me a couple of seconds to realize the bandage girl was right there and I could just alt across. The hospital. There is one level I cannot beat in this world. 2-1's pretty standard, just alt through the gaps that I cannot jump over. And make my way to bandage girl. You can do this one without glitches, but it's a lot cooler to do with this glitch. You can also do the same thing on this one, or you would think, but there's actually a death barrier on the wall that kills you and doesn't let you fall through it. Now here's the first impossible level. If you glitch on the fans, they'll just keep pushing you up forever. The only danger is that if you do it for too long, you'll void out through the top. So you have to do it, but not do it enough that it kills you, and they take you high enough so you can beat this level. 2-5. This one was theoretically possible, and it was theoretically possible the exact way I did it. You have to get this very precise jump into the fan that just barely lets you clear this gap. Yeah, there you go. Just, oh man, that was pixel perfect, I feel. I just jump over to this other wall. There you go. And these fans, you can alt glitch across all of them, but it's a little bit risky because you can alt too far to the next fan, you know? You'll notice the second fan here, the syringes on the roof are a little bit wider, so you cannot just jump into it, so you have to alt glitch to that one. Don't ask why I know that. Oh yeah, and that was the first try of the day that I did that one. That level took me multiple days to do. In this tunnel part here, you can alt through the wall on the right and just fall on bandage girl, but I wasn't thinking at the time, so I did it this way. 2-7, we'll be back to that one. The hardest part of this level is to get up there. This level was a lot of fun. Couple precise alts through the gaps, avoiding the enemies. There you go. I kept dying on this level for some reason. I don't know why. It's not even hard. Over here, I really wanted the bandage, but you can just alt through to get the key. You can actually slide down the wall. You don't even need the key. $213. There are a couple of ways to do this one. I did it the easiest way. You go around everything. You don't need to worry about the enemies. You just alt through here. You saw that enemy actually went outside. When you're alting, for some enemies, they keep going in the game. They just keep moving and walking through walls just like you do. This jump took me so long to get. It's super precise, but once you get it, you can get up here. And I was a little bit nervous here. I really didn't want to die to this guy. I feel like I got it just a little bit lucky. I jumped up, just barely squeezed next to him. I cheated a bit here. I didn't know what else to do, so I saw what the other guy had done. So you all through here, and then here I am cheating again, seeing what's next in the level. Is checking a couple times, and I really didn't want to die. 216, theoretically possible level. The way it's theoretically possible is if you jump up that wall on the right enough, and then you do that precise jump over that tip there. But then I discovered something interesting here. Did you see that? I saw something and I couldn't believe my eyes. It turns out when you have the jump glitch active and you use the alt glitch, while you're in the air, you do a jump in the air, kind of like Super Smash Brothers. The game thinks you're grounded for 1 frame when you alt back in. This simple trick tore the whole game open for Tofu Boy. A lot of previously impossible levels became trivial. Not this one though, this one was still hard. But it did get easier. Because when you jump, I can start this climb here a little higher. There you go. And the end of this level, you have to jump while the laser's active, and then alt. And since time is still running in the game, you can wait it out while you're tapped out of the game. Now we can go back to 111. Thanks to this trick, this level's not quite as hard as it used to be. Those blocks disappear. It seems like they disappear at random timing, so sometimes it's very hard to climb up the walls quick enough. And then once you're up there, sometimes they disappear too quickly for you to alt and walk across them while they're still there. Over here, I alted and I was like, oh no, I lost some timing. But then you can pause to cancel the alt glitch. As you can see, it took a lot of tries. Now 2-7 is possible. That gap at the very beginning there was impossible before, but thanks to this trick, you can jump in the air and reach it. Even with this trick, this level was still pretty hard, but I loved it. These challenging levels were the most satisfying. I wouldn't mind if there was a game with just stuff like this, and just where you just played as Tofu Boy at this point. I do the jump glitch to get up this tunnel a little quicker. Yeah, I'm gonna completely ignore the bandage on the right here. I'm gonna ignore this bandage here too. This level was way too hard to stop by to stop and get a bandage. Another previously impossible level. Possible because of the jump in the air trick. The jump glitch is active. Just jump up there, alt, make it over those gaps. And here you just barely get enough height to jump on that wall there. I did not find the way to beat 211. You can alt over the key, but there's still nothing you can do. That wall of syringes there is way too long for you to jump over. And even if you try alting from over here, it doesn't help. It doesn't get you enough height. I even tried jumping from the other side of those keys. I tried alting inside of the keys. And yeah, nothing helped. Ah, World 3. There are actually 3 unbeaten levels here. And if I wouldn't have been able to beat even one of the levels that I beat, I'd still be grinding to this day. 3-1 starting out very standard, alting across this huge salt gap. And then wrist repeat. So 3-4 actually possible without glitch. It's probably the hardest level to beat without glitch. But with the alt glitch, you can just alt across. Ah, 3-5, previously impossible level. If you alt while you're on these conveyors, they actually keep pushing you up indefinitely. And just like the fans, you have to stop before you void out the top, but they'll push you way higher than you think they should. (3-7) possible thanks to the jump on air glitch. There you go. You can just barely make that jump. I made it to this part more than once. Unfortunately, I crashed into the big salt mound there. Over here, this one's pretty precise, but I got it first try. Boom, not even close. Okay, it's not even that precise. Never mind. (3-8) is actually possible without glitches. You just have to be a god gamer. You can go across everything here. You just have to dodge the bullets. You can alt to let those razors go through you. Just do the rest of the level. Oh, 312. This level took me forever to beat. It was so hard. You're against the clock because those razors come back up again. They're like, kind of like through a cycle. You have to get in this gap next to the salt waterfall. If you're one more pixel to the left there, it kills you. You have to do this 3 times and alt across. And here, deactivate the jump glitch. Alt to let these razors go through you. And get this little tricky jump here to get to Bandage Girl. That was the hardest level so far. Thanks to the jump alt glitch. Alt jump glitch? You can actually time this conveyor coming down and jump on top of it. This is probably the easiest level that was previously deemed impossible. So 318, you can actually do this level without glitches, but I thought it was a lot cooler to jump up the wall on the right side of the screen, completely ignore the bandage. There's another level possible without glitches. (220) was very challenging. So that first alt there was pretty precise. And then you have to make these precise alt glitches to these little platforms. And then you have to time the alts with those rockets. You probably can just jump over them, to be honest, but this works too. (3-2) is impossible. You can make it to the roof, sure, but you can't go through the floor. And you can't go through the walls while you're in the air, so it's impossible to get inside.
Remember, the glitch cares about the ground you're standing on when you activate it.
You can actually make it pretty far in this level with Tofu Boy, but there's one part of the level that you cannot get across, and that's this part here. That salt mountain is just a little too high to alt across. You cannot jump far enough with Tofu Boy. Unfortunate, so close. 315 is also very close, but there's just one part where there's a jump that's just too high for Tofu Boy to make. And it's this wall here. There's no way to make it higher from here. So 317, if I wouldn't have been able to beat 17 levels already, this would be the level I would be grinding. You can make it up here while dodging these bullets and get the key and then get down again. But then you have to make it up the wall of disappearing blocks while dodging that bullet, and I just couldn't do it. But I'm pretty sure it's possible. Oh, hell. There are actually 3 levels I couldn't beat here. 4-1, pretty standard once again. Just get up here and then I'll glitch across. 4-2 actually had probably the hardest alt glitch in the game. I have to alt glitch at the precise time at the very, very edge of this platform.
I'm actually gonna let you hear the in-game audio here. I had to count for exactly 13.25 beats so that when I come out of the alt, I can just barely make it next to this lava waterfall.
If you hold it a millisecond too long, you void out of the right side of the screen. Previously deemed impossible, actually done in the Tofu percent speedrun. You can do this one without glitches. It's just a lot easier if you alt through that wall there. And you can jump up here, make it to the very highest point, and just barely clear this gap. I jump glitched there, so I didn't have to time the landing. This level's super easy. I just really wanted this bandage. Come on. Ah, there you go. There's a super swag way to do this level. And that's it. This level took a little bit long to figure out because you have to climb up that wall on the right quick enough so the eye doesn't kill you. And to do that, you actually have to approach it slow enough. If you approach it slow enough, Tofu Boy will get quicker jumps. And once I figured that, I would just get up here, alt across the big gap, and beat the level. 415 was my favorite level in the game. You have to alt just right on time so that that bullet doesn't kill you. You have to be very quick with it. You can see here, every single time that thing shot a bullet, a wave of Tofu Boys just died. Just vaporized. Don't ask why that bullet went through me. This level is actually possible without glitches. It takes like a year to do it though. It's kind of crazy. I wanted to speedrun this level for fun. Four 3 is impossible. Once you get high enough, you can go around these gaps here, but there's a part there that Tofu Boy just cannot jump high enough to get over. So this will, if I were still stuck in World 4, this would be the level that I'd be grinding. You can jump over to this platform if you time it perfectly, and you could probably get some quick jumps up while it's climbing up and make it on top. From there you can make it to Bandage Girl, but I just could not do it for some reason. You can also alt all the way over here
And for some reason, while on these platforms, when you alt glitch, you just fall through these platforms. And you can survive in this little rock here. This is my new home. Unfortunately, this doesn't help you to beat the level at all. I just thought it was kind of cool. I even tried to alt to maybe get to other rocks or something like that, but none of the other rocks could help you survive the lava. So 413, there's so much to say about this level. I think there's two ways that this level might be possible. One way would be to climb the wall slow enough so that you can destroy that block and the laser doesn't kill you before you hide behind the floor. The other way is you go up at once, you alt all the way back, and then you climb up the wall on the left and somehow make it in one of those holes. Ah, World 5, probably my favorite world. There are only 2 levels I couldn't beat in this world. Starting 5-1, not very standard. No, never mind, pretty standard. Just halting across. These light bulbs actually affect how far your alt glitch goes depending how close you are to them. Since their forces are acting on you, they're kind of pushing you back while you run forward, so you itch very slowly and you have to hold alt much longer to get the same distance. Or much less if they're helping you move. You can go around here. 5-4 was actually the hardest level in the game. This level was a culmination of every single trick I'd learned so far. You have to jump over here and alt in this precise, and I mean precise spot, and hold the alt for just long enough so that it pops you up here. From here you jump, activate the jump glitch, alt right away, and then hold it just long enough so that you're on this light bulb and it doesn't kill you, and then you alt again so that the light bulb can push you to this next platform. And now the light bulb's pushing against you, so you have to alt a little bit longer than normal, but not too long so that it doesn't take you to the other side of this wall. And then you alt while the light bulb is pushing you up, but not too long so that it doesn't take you off the top of the level. You see what I mean here? This level was crazy. It took me multiple days to do. Keep in mind, this level took me several days, so these aren't even all of my attempts. We can actually slide through the wall on the razor, but I wanted to get that button. Thank God there's this gap here in 5-7. If you all here, you can actually fall through this platform. You can probably do some cool speedrun strats with that. These zombie tofu boys, they move through the alt just like you do. So while you're alting and they're moving, they just void out of the map. And thank God for that, because here, they run way faster than you, and there's no way to make it past them without alt glitching. Here I do the little light bulb trick where I alt on top of the light bulb and it just keeps pushing you forever. Make it up here, and then I can alt across. Beautiful. Another impossible level, back to back. You might think that this one is impossible the way I did it, but you can actually climb up this right, disappearing and reappearing wall. You don't even need to glitch to get up it. You just need to climb quick enough. Kind of crazy, huh? Took me way too long to figure that out. And then you can alt glitch through this huge gap here. Thankfully, it's just wide enough so that this works. There you go. Very satisfying level. This one was also very satisfying to beat. You actually don't need to do this first part because you can just clip through the part that I'm getting this key for. But I didn't think of that when I was doing this, so I did it this way. And I'm gonna be honest, it's probably a lot more fun this way. This guy just kept coming back. Oh. And this gap here made me very nervous. I really didn't want to hit that salt or those maggots. Oh man, so close. .15 was just a little bit tricky. Some of these alt glitches were a little precise, but it wasn't too bad. So the Horseman's video actually theorized that you could do this level in the exact way that I did it. Once you get here, it's pretty tricky to dodge this bullet, but you can do that by jumping across to the other wall. This level, believe it or not, is possible without glitches. You just have to dodge some bullets and make your way over here. And ride the elevator. Zoom. I'm so glad that works. It's the final level of the game. Well, that Tofu Boy can do. The developers put this gap here just for Tofu Boy. At least that's how it feels. 510. I don't know if there's any way to do this level. You can survive the zombie meat boys, sure. But there's this razor here that you just can't jump over. It's the same thing with this level. This would be possible, although really hard.
It is possible to get up here, but Tofu Boy doesn't have the leg power to clear this gap. And yeah, that's it. I'm gonna put the updated graphic of what's beatable. So yeah, the red levels now are pretty much the ones with gaps that are way too high for you to jump over. And the yellow ones are the ones that were a little too hard for me, or maybe I just didn't need to beat them for this challenge. As I am now making tradition on this channel, I'll leave you with some Lovecraftian Tofu Boy and Meat Boy art.